There's no such thing as falling behind. There is not just one way that your life can unfold. Here is a sentence that will either disrupt your worldview or free you, or probably both. Everybody is having the exact experience that they need to be having right now. This is hard to accept when we see people around us making what we perceive to be grave errors in their life. This is hard to accept when we witness the people that we love struggling and we want to show them the way out. This is hard to accept when we can't stop judging and punishing ourselves for not being better, farther, and different. When we are young and before we really have a sense of autonomy, our lives are governed by a process in a specific order. We know that we learn to crawl and then walk, and we know we learn to tie our shoes and to put on our jackets. And we know that we're done with second grade and then we go to third grade. Our lives are built in reinforcing systems. We are reinforced by our peers, by our family, by our grades. We know that the goal is to graduate, pursue a job and an education, get married and have kids. Then of course life happens. We find this one formula for an existence is just really a suggestion, one to guide us towards prosperity and not self-destruction. We aren't often given a lesson on how to be fulfilled. We aren't often told what to do if we don't quite get there when everyone else does. If our big milestones are letdowns, or most commonly, if we check off every box on our list and find that we are somehow still empty inside. Falling behind is an illusion. There is no such thing. There is not one way for your life to unfold. Sometimes we have to take the back road because the long way around teaches us what we need to know. Sometimes we sit in our own pain for years before we start waking up and adjusting our behavior. Sometimes what we learn from being different is more important than what we learned from fitting in. Sometimes our greatest successes are decades in the making. Sometimes we do peak early. Sometimes we need years of growth and self-discovery to decide what we need next. Sometimes the point of the journey is to have different experiences, not just to cycle through a series of them until we decide on the one thing that we want forevermore. When we believe that it is possible to fall behind, we place limits on our lives. We believe that it is possible to fall behind. It is because we think that the point of life is just to arrive at a certain series of checkpoints until we die. Graduate, get a job, pay the bills, mildly hate yourself, get married, fight with your spouse, have kids, fight with them, grow old, retire, and then try to enjoy what's left. If you're truly worried about falling behind your peers, then please ask yourself what you really think you're falling behind on. So many people met every single milestone that they were meant to and are no happier for it. This is because life is not about just going through the motions. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be experienced. And we often find that our pain is the portal to awakening that experience. Discomfort is the signal that there's more for us, there's more to savor, more to feel, and more to be. What if you did not measure your life by how it compared to who is around you, but instead on how it felt on the inside? What if your priority wasn't on the type of growth that people can see, but the type of personal growth that revolutionizes you? The kind that changes the way you do everything from sipping your coffee in the morning to breathing the spring air. Sometimes the setback is the journey, because the path that you were on wasn't going somewhere that you wanted anyway. Sometimes the setback is a wake-up call that you need to save your life, because otherwise you are barreling towards your own self-destruction. Sometimes being different isn't a bad thing. It means you're on a journey of something deeper and something bigger, and that most people wouldn't even dare to dream of. Tomorrow's chapter is This is how you will know if you're actually on the wrong path in life.